Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So I am in my truck recording this video for the first time ever, and I'm hoping this video turns out to be pretty good. I've never recorded in my car before, so I don't know how this video actually turned out. But I have been really thinking about what I wanted to do today's video on, and what message I wanted to give to you guys. And I had no idea. None. I woke up this morning with no clue. And then I was going through my YouTube channel and adding videos that I wanted to watch for the rest of the week when I'm at work. And I came across this one video that I had watched several years ago when I first became a Christian, and it was just kind of a dead giveaway of what I was supposed to do my video on, because it's almost the exact same thing of what I'm doing right now. Sitting in my truck. Okay? The video was a girl sitting in her car giving her testimony, and she had not planned it out. She had no outline, no nothing of what she was going to, how her testimony is going to go. And I'm in the exact same boat. I have no idea how this video is going to go. I have no idea how my testimony is going to go. I'm just going to wing it, go from the top of my head, and go for it. Because I've been telling you guys I wanted to do my testimony, and I've been stalling on it because I haven't been able to think of how I wanted to write it. And I've learned from my previous videos, if I try and write out my notes, write out my video script, I'm usually just going to sit here and read it. And I'm not really paying attention to the actual camera, the audience, you guys who are actually watching this. So I'm kind of I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone and going into just the whole winging it kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me know how you guys think of this, okay? I said, I have not planned this. I haven't even started writing it. I'm just going to spitball it and see what happens, so to speak. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into my testimony. Okay. Now, where to start? Okay, my testimony is not really that long, but I do want to go into a little bit of my backstory. Not too much like my childhood, because like I said, that's not exactly where I came from. But part is, okay, anyways, okay. So my childhood, I don't remember a lot of it. And my childhood is kind of rough and slightly dark and just not really good. Okay. The only thing I really want to highlight on my childhood is that I did not grow up in the church. I didn't grow up in a Christian household. Now, granted, my mom was a Christian. I don't know how devout she was, but I do know she was a Christian, and she stuck with my father because of the whole belief of not divorcing your husband and that kind of thing. She was devout enough that she was sticking around with him even through what he was doing. But even regardless of her being a Christian or not, she didn't really tell me much about God or about Jesus or his love or any kind of sort of thing. And we didn't really grow up in a church because he wasn't a Christian. And I think he had a lot of power over what went into raising us. And one of the things is, like, he was not a Christian. I mean, if it gives you any kind of concept of who he was a registered SO. Okay, and if you don't know what an SO is, you might want to go look that up, because I really don't want to say it. But yes, he was a registered SO, and he was not a Christian. He was into drugs. He was an alcoholic. And like I said, my childhood was not very pleasant. We didn't grow up like normal kids do. We grew up from moving from place to place to place and not really staying one place for very long. But like I said, I don't really want to go too much into my childhood, so let's go into actually how I became a Christian. Okay, so I remember before I became a Christian, when me and my old man, my significant other, got together. He was a devoted Norse pagan, a worshiper, a follower of Odin and Thor and Tyr. And when him and I got together, he started telling me about the stories, the myths, the legends, and I got into the whole Norse paganism as well. Because like I said, I didn't grow up as a Christian. I didn't grow up with any Christian beliefs or Christian whole like my mom should have done when I was growing up. And I didn't know anything really about God. So me getting into Norse paganism was kind of an easy gateway. I learned about the myths, the legends, the stories, and I quickly got into being a Norse pagan. Within like a month of me and my old man getting together, I was a devout Norse pagan, and I was exploring the gods, the old gods, and I was exploring who was it that I was going to commit my life to? Like, which god was I going to be devoted to? And I settled on the goddess Ran, her husband Aether, and then her 9 children. And then, so Ran is the goddess of the ocean. Her husband Aether, I think that's how you say his name, was the god of the ocean. And then their 9 kids were supposedly the actual waves of the ocean. Kind of weird, huh? But that is what I got into. If you guys know anything about me, you guys know that I am a huge lover of the ocean and ocean life, and my favorite animal is the actual shark, which is why I wear a shark tooth, a great white shark tooth, and I have this hammerhead heart necklace that my old man got me. But everyone knows I am obsessed with and love sharks. And I absolutely love all aquatic life and the sea life and just the ocean in general, despite the fact that I've never really been to the ocean except for like a short amount of time when I lived in seaside. Ironic, huh? But that's why I grew to take on Ran and her husband and her kids as being like my main gods. The main reason why I worship them is because they were the ocean. That speaks to me and beyond volumes, because the fact is that I love the ocean. Sharks are my thing. And at the time, I was committed to the fact that her husband and her kids were the reason the ocean was the ocean. Like, they created the ocean, they were the ocean, they protected and took care of the ocean life, so that's kind of why I grew to them. It wasn't until I somehow ended up in a Discord server, Christian Discord server. And I said, don't quote me on this. I really do not remember how exactly I got into this Christian server. I don't know. But when I got into this Christian server, I started asking questions. I started really pondering, was me being a Norse pagan what I wanted to be? And that is when I met Ellie, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, something like that. And her and Faith both really started working with me on trying to convert me over to being a Christian. They were talking to me, or they were being friends with me. They were, regardless of the fact that I was a Norse pagan, they still showed love to me. And I remember being in this Discord server and just feeling kind of awkward, weird about it, because I was a Norse pagan in a Christian server. What kind of Christian server allows a Norse pagan into their server? But that was just me exploring. I started, like I said, that was what got me really questioning my belief, really. What really got me to turn is we were in this apartment, we got kicked out. We were supposed to be moving from Portland to Arizona, and the apartment that we had applied to fell through. So we had just left our apartment. We were supposed to be moving down to Arizona, and it fell through. So we are now had nowhere to go. No apartment, no place. We were on the street, basically. So we started staying in this hotel, and my roommate had an accident. He went to the hospital. CPS were involved. And CPS told us that we need to get into a place because I had a kid. We cannot be living in a hotel room. And I remember applying to apartments after apartments after apartments. And I applied to this one apartment, and I had basically challenged God in a sense. I know that's kind of, I know you're not really supposed to challenge God, but yeah, I did. I challenged him and I told him, hey, if you're really real, if you are willing to accept me despite everything I did, despite me rejecting you so many times, rejecting everything you stood for, and me choosing Norse paganism over you, ignoring what my mom had ever had to say, because at one point, when I started getting older, then she started telling me about God's love. She started telling me about God, and I was just, nope, nope. I'm a Norse pagan. I don't believe that kind of anything. I watched horror movies. I watched the gore. No. So, challenging him, I was basically like, if you're really real, if you're willing to accept me, if you're willing to forgive me for everything I've done, if you're willing to love me, if you're willing to be someone better for me than the Norse gods mean, then help me get into this apartment so that I can keep my son. Because they were basically saying that if I didn't get into a place, they were going to take my son away from me. And before I was even done with that prayer, I guess, I got a call saying that we got approved to move into the apartment that we're currently in right this minute. And we'd be able to move in Thanksgiving Day, which is like 2 days away. And from that point on, I put my faith and trust in him. Now, however, I did not really accept him as being my Lord or Savior until December 11th. And the only reason why I didn't accept him until then as my Lord and Savior is because at the point, up until this point, I had no exposure to the Bible. I had no exposure to God. I had no idea how to even say a prayer. I didn't know how to give my life to God. I didn't know how to accept him as Lord and Savior. So I was in this other Discord server, and I had told them, hey, I want to accept God as my Lord and Savior, but I'm not sure how to do it. Can you guys help me with this? And I jumped into the VC, into a voice channel with like 5 other people, and they all helped me say the prayer that got me to be completely saved as my Lord and Savior. And I have a screenshot of the admin, the owner of the server, posting in one of the chats that was saying, Satan lost another one, heaven gained a new child, because that was the day that I accepted Jesus, my Lord and Savior. And I have not looked back since then. And I think that was like 4 years ago now. We got into the apartments. We've been making it into a home ever since then. From that point on until now, we have been in this apartment and haven't had any problems since. And I have not once looked back to being a Norse pagan. Excuse me. Now, granted, the very beginning of my walk was really in depth. I was actually really hungry for the word. And then I kind of started being not really lukewarm, but just not as on fire for him because I wasn't involved in church. I was having a hard time. And then it wasn't until a couple months ago that I really started committing my life to Christ, to really trying to change myself. I mean, like I said, I've been a Christian the whole entire time, but I wasn't really changing as fast as I wanted to when I first became a Christian. And it's been a slow journey, slow path. This whole entire time that being a Christian I've been slowly making the progress, and now, like I said, like the last couple months, it has seemed to be okay, if you're looking at a roller coaster, when I first became a Christian, it was like really a slow incline. And then recently, like the last couple months, the incline started really going higher. It increased. So I have been really changing the lot, and I think that's one of the reasons why the beginning part of my Christian life was slow, is because God was trying to get me used to being a Christian. He was trying to change me slowly. And now that I've been a Christian for a while, he was like, "Well, nope. You're gonna go from that. You're gonna go from this to that, straight up." And I've been drastically changing a lot the last couple 5 months, 4 months, something like that. So it's been a ride, and I wouldn't change it. I'm having my whole entire atmosphere, my whole entire world has completely changed, and my entire perspective on life has changed, and everything has changed since I basically challenged God at the very beginning of it and asked him to help me and help keep my son, because my kid is my world, and I absolutely love him to death. He might annoy me, but I absolutely love him to death, and I would do anything for him. And me becoming a Christian, me bringing him to church, that is the best I can do to keep him in God's love and sharing the gospel with him and doing what my mom should have done with us but didn't. Now, like I said, I'm not blaming my mom for not introducing us to the gospel when we were younger. She had her reasonings, whatever the case is. My mom was a devout Christian at the end of her life, and she did try at the end of her life, trying to get me saved, trying to help me and my brother out. My brother's a Christian, so she actually managed to get through to him. He married a good Christian woman too, and both of his kids are Christian as well, and they got baptized. I got baptized in Pioneer Square, and got invited to a church for the first time ever. That church became one of my homes. I absolutely love that church, but I just haven't been able to go there because it's in Vancouver, half an hour away. Versus Grace Community is like 10 minutes away. So, yeah. But yeah, that is my testimony. I'm not exactly sure what else to add on to it, but next week I am planning on doing another special video. This one I've actually been planning for a little bit. Now, whether or not I actually get to that video is a whole different story, because as I said, when I first started coming back to YouTube, I want my videos to be God-centered, God-focused, and God-planned. So what I mean by that is God is the one who dictates whether or not what video I do for that week or not. So I might have a video planned for next week, but if God doesn't want me doing that video, I won't do that video. Okay, if He wants me to do that video, I will. But He gets to plan what videos I do for the week. And I'm going to be praying about it all week and hoping that He will give me His blessing on it. And if He does, then I have something extra special for you guys next week. But if not, then God will have something special for you guys next week. So, if you guys stayed into the end of this video, then I love you guys. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys, and I would really, really, really appreciate if you guys give me your guys' recommendations or video suggestions for the future, and let me know what you guys thought about my testimony, or if you guys want to tell me your testimony in the comments below. I would love to read them. So now you guys know the usual: like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you get notifications when I post videos. And then next time, bring someone else to watch a video as well. So without further ado, I will let you guys go. You guys have an amazing week. Enjoy you guys' Sunday. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.